For over a century, the world's most expensive cars had one thing in common. The bigger the engine, the more valuable the car. A roaring V12, a screaming V8, the unmistakable sound of raw power. But today, the world's wealthiest collectors are spending millions of dollars on cars that make almost no noise at all. No thunderous exhaust, no shifting gears, just silence. It sounds like the opposite of everything a supercar should be. Yet some electric cars now cost more than Bugattis, more than Lamborghinis, and even more than private jets. So what happened? How did electric cars go from being practical commuter vehicles to becoming some of the most exclusive machines ever built? The answer has very little to do with batteries, and everything to do with one thing: exclusivity. Welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy discovering the hidden stories behind the world's greatest technology, engineering, and luxury, make sure you're subscribed. Because today, we're uncovering why billionaires are paying millions for electric cars. Yes, the biggest misunderstanding about electric cars. For years, electric cars carried an image problem. People thought they were slow, boring, built purely to save fuel. When the first modern EVs entered the market, they were marketed as sensible transportation. Affordable, efficient, environmentally friendly. Luxury wasn't part of the conversation. Performance wasn't either. In fact, many sports car enthusiasts laughed at the idea that an electric vehicle could ever replace a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Because for decades, performance was measured by one thing: horsepower produced by gasoline. Then something changed. Engineers discovered something that gasoline engines could never achieve: instant torque. Unlike combustion engines that need to build power through increasing RPMs, electric motors deliver maximum torque the moment you touch the accelerator. That single advantage completely changed the automotive industry. Suddenly, electric cars weren't just competing with supercars, they were beating them. And once manufacturers realized that batteries could produce record-breaking performance, a new race began. Not to build the fastest gasoline car, but to build the world's greatest electric hypercar. The company that started the race. When most people hear the word Tesla, they think about affordable electric cars. The Model 3, the Model Y, cars you see almost every day. But hidden behind Tesla's mainstream success is one machine designed to change the way people think about electric performance forever. The next-generation Tesla Roadster. When it was unveiled, its numbers sounded almost impossible. A claimed 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. More than 600 miles of driving range, and a top speed exceeding 250 miles per hour. Those figures weren't just impressive. They threatened the entire hypercar industry. Tesla even announced an optional SpaceX package, featuring small cold gas thrusters inspired by rocket technology. Whether that feature eventually reaches production or not, it sent a clear message. Electric cars were no longer trying to catch up. They intended to lead. With an estimated price of around $250,000, the Roadster is actually one of the least expensive vehicles among today's electric hypercars. And that's where things become truly unbelievable. Because from this point onward, prices don't rise by thousands. They rise by millions. When luxury meets electricity. If Tesla proved electric cars could be fast, another company wanted to prove they could be beautiful. That company was Automobili Pininfarina. For decades, Pininfarina designed some of Ferrari's most iconic cars. But eventually, the legendary Italian design house decided to build something carrying its own name. The result was the Battista. At first glance, it looks like automotive artwork. Flowing curves, perfect proportions, a body sculpted almost entirely from carbon fiber. But underneath that elegant exterior lies one of the most powerful electric drivetrains ever created. Nearly 1,900 horsepower. For electric motors, an acceleration so violent, it reaches 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. Yet performance isn't what makes the Battista cost more than $2 million. It's craftsmanship. Every cabin is assembled almost entirely by hand. Owners work directly with designers to customize everything from leather colors to stitching patterns and unique finishes. Only 150 examples will ever exist, meaning most people will never even see one in person. For collectors, that's exactly the point. Speed is no longer enough. As more manufacturers entered the electric hypercar market, something interesting happened. Horsepower stopped being impressive. 2,000 horsepower became almost expected. Acceleration records were broken almost every year. the conversation shifted. If everyone could build an incredibly fast electric car, how do you make yours worth millions? The answer: scarcity. Companies began producing fewer and fewer vehicles. Some limited production to just 50 cars. Others built only 10. A few built only 1. Owning these vehicles became less about transportation and more about belonging to one of the most exclusive clubs on earth. It wasn't unusual for customers to spend months choosing custom paint colors, rare materials, or even personalized design elements that would never appear on another car. These weren't vehicles rolling off an assembly line. They were commissioned works of art. And nowhere is that philosophy more obvious than with the company that completely rewrote the rules of electric performance. The startup that embarrassed the giants. For decades, the automotive industry was ruled by giants. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti, companies with decades or even centuries of engineering experience. Then, a small startup from Croatia entered the scene. Founded in 2009 by a young engineer named Rimac, the company had one goal: prove that electric cars weren't the future, they were already better. Many dismissed the idea. How could a company with no racing heritage compete against automotive legends? The answer came in the form of the Rimac Nevera. Powered by 4 electric motors producing an astonishing 1,914 horsepower, the Nevera became one of the fastest production cars ever built. It sprinted from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 1.74 seconds, shattering records that once seemed untouchable. But speed alone wasn't what impressed the industry. The Nevera's battery system, cooling technology, and software were so advanced that major manufacturers, including Porsche, Bugatti, and Aston Martin, turned to Rimac for electric technology. Think about that for a moment. The world's oldest luxury car companies were now learning from one of the youngest. The Nevera wasn't just a hypercar. It marked the moment the automotive world realized that software, batteries, and electric motors could be just as important as engines. With only 150 units produced and a price tag of around $2.4 million, the Nevera became a symbol of a new era. But while Rimac was chasing records, another company had a very different vision: luxury over speed. When people think of Rolls-Royce, speed is rarely the first thing that comes to mind. Instead, they think of silence, comfort, craftsmanship. Ironically, those qualities make electricity the perfect match for the brand. Unlike a roaring supercar, a Rolls-Royce is designed to isolate its passengers from the outside world. An electric motor, with its smooth and silent power delivery, only enhances that experience. That's why the company introduced the Rolls-Royce Spectre, its first fully electric production car. But the standard Spectre isn't what makes headlines. The real fascination lies in the bespoke commissions. Some customers spend months working directly with Rolls-Royce designers, choosing exclusive paint finishes, rare wood veneers, personalized embroidery, and custom materials sourced specifically for their car. No two commissions are exactly alike. One of the most remarkable examples is the Spectre Luna Flare, inspired by the rare lunar halo phenomenon. Its shimmering paint finish required countless layers and microscopic reflective particles to recreate the glow surrounding the moon. The result wasn't simply a luxury car. It became a moving work of art. With bespoke options, a Spectre can cost several times more than its standard price, reaching well beyond $5 million. And yet, even that isn't the most expensive electric car ever commissioned. When cars become collectible art, at a certain point, price stops being determined by horsepower. It stops being determined by battery capacity or acceleration. Instead, it's determined by one thing: scarcity. Luxury brands have long understood a simple principle. The fewer people who can own something, the more desirable it becomes. That's why companies like Pininfarina, Spark, and Hispano Suiza intentionally limit production to just a handful of vehicles. Some build 50, some produce only 10. Others create a single example for one client. These cars are rarely purchased because they're practical. They're purchased because they cannot be replaced. Every stitch, every panel, every paint color, every piece of trim, designed around one customer's vision. In many cases, owners never even drive them. Instead, they become part of private collections, displayed alongside rare Ferraris, classic Bugattis, and priceless works of art. The automobile has transformed into something much bigger than transportation. It's become a statement, not just of wealth, but of individuality. And that philosophy reaches its peak with one extraordinary electric car. The world's most exclusive electric car. There are expensive cars. There are rare cars. And then there are cars that exist only once. One bespoke commission, often referred to as the Rolls-Royce Spectre Rose, represents the pinnacle of electric luxury. Created exclusively for a private client, virtually every detail was customized, from its unique exterior finish to handcrafted interior materials selected specifically for its owner. Thousands of hours went into its creation, not because the technology demanded it, but because perfection did. Unlike hypercars that compete for lap records or top speed titles, this car exists for an entirely different reason. It isn't trying to be the fastest. It doesn't need to be. Its value comes from something money alone cannot easily buy: originality. No one else in the world will ever own another car exactly like it. That's the ultimate luxury. And with an estimated value exceeding $8 million, it stands among the most expensive electric automobiles ever created. More than just cars. 20 years ago, the idea of spending millions on an electric car would have sounded absurd. Electric vehicles were supposed to be practical, efficient, a way to save money at the pump. Instead, they've become some of the most advanced and exclusive machines on Earth. But perhaps the most fascinating part isn't the price. It's the technology. The batteries powering today's multi-million-dollar hypercars will inspire tomorrow's family vehicles. The software controlling thousands of horsepower today may eventually make everyday driving safer and smarter. History has a habit of repeating itself. Features once reserved for the ultra-rich, airbags, ABS brakes, adaptive suspension, even touchscreen displays, eventually became standard in ordinary cars. Electric hypercars are following the same path. Today's impossible innovations become tomorrow's everyday conveniences. So while these million-dollar machines may seem out of reach, they're quietly shaping the future of transportation for everyone. The next time someone says electric cars are boring, remember this: some of the world's wealthiest people are spending millions to own them. Not because they have to, but because they represent the next chapter in automotive history. If you enjoyed this documentary, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments which electric car surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.